What is up, guys? Welcome back. It's a new year, and you know what? We got the tag team back. This is the Good Shit Podcast. I'm Oscar Cifuentes.
DJ DSPN Sutherland,
We
episode 21 in 2021.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And, it's been a while, and there's been I'd say a decent amount of news lately. How would you say?
I think so. December is usually like the end of the year. WWE starts ramping up towards Royal Rumble season.
Oh, yeah.
Which bleeds into WrestleMania season. So, things tend to go down in the end of the year.
Very true, very true. It's been a while since I've sat down and actually watched a full WWE show that I forgot that we are now on the road to WrestleMania, man. Yeah.
I mean, generally, January, the turn of the calendar is the turn, I guess, of WWE trying to ramp it up for WrestleMania. But honestly, they haven't given me a whole lot of reason to watch recently, so I don't blame you.
Very true. And now I may have found another reason not to watch. So I don't know if you guys have heard, but yesterday or the day before, Lita was on her Twitch, and she had an interesting confession about a certain segment she had on Monday Night Raw back in, what was that, 2006?
Six, I think.
Yeah. So if you guys don't remember, the night after New Year's Revolution, right? After Edge had become WWE champion, if you guys don't remember the live sex show that was happening in the middle of the ring.
Legendary segment for anybody that was Raw that night.
Oh,
I was not one of those people.
Which drew one of their highest ratings for the year.
I wonder why.
Yeah, no shit. But now it's been 15 years later, and Lita has confessed that she was extremely uncomfortable doing that segment, and that Edge and Cena and so many others were trying to, get that segment cut. But look at that. We have another segment of the Vinnie Mac Chronicles.
He's back, man. He ain't going away, bro.
Oh, my God. But on being completely serious, I get that, you're trying to draw ratings, and I guess because what's it called? We weren't so. What's the word I'm looking for? We weren't what's it called? All these what's it called? Oh man, I can't muster out the words.
We weren't as deep into social justice as we were back then.
Yes, that's it. Exactly. Social justice was not as big as it is now. So I can see why they never or at least Vince never objected to it, because
Also, crude humor was also kind of the norm back then. Remember, we're past the Attitude Era, kind of towards the back end of the Ruthless Aggression era, not quite into the Universe PG area. So that kind of thing was kind of the norm. Maybe not to that degree, but it's not out of the realm of possibility that would happen at that time.
Exactly. And, what's it called? I honestly, I just felt bad when I read that. I was like, oh, crap. Because, when you see a segment that happens, you assume that everybody involved, was on board.
From everybody.
Exactly. But apparently.
Specifically the people involved.
Yeah. But apparently, Lita was practically forced into this because Vince had threatened to fire her if she did not partake in this. So I'm just sitting there reading this, and I'm like, what the absolute fuck, dude?
Kind of like we alluded to earlier, not in a joking way, but it kind of just adds to the grocery list of negligible things that Vince McMahon has done over the span of his tenure in WWE. But
this is
it's bad enough to say that this isn't even one of the worst things he's done. It's pretty fucking bad.
It's up there. It's up there though. It's especially by standards now. It's pretty fucking bad. If we're talking about
now, he's not running WWE.
No.
He's gone by Tuesday.
As I say, or at least there would be so many boycotts against WWE and outcries.
No, he's gone by Tuesday. He's gone by Tuesday at 9 a.m.
I mean, well, I was gonna say, keep in mind they have what's it called? They don't have the best record of getting rid of talent who have allegations against them.
That's
Velveteen
very
Dream.
true.
Oh, sorry,
That's
man.
very
Excuse
true.
me.
Bless
Excuse
you,
me.
brother. Bless you.
Excuse me. Oh man, but I don't know. Thinking about it, let's say Lita had fought her ground and taken her stance, and Vince did fire her. Where was she gonna go after that?
See, the rest of maybe
And this is
maybe TNA, but
06. This is 06,
like
so there
maybe
weren't too
TNA,
many.
but that's kind of it.
I was gonna say
TNA,
TNA was like what, on the rise, like not
yeah, they
even.
weren't like popping yet. That was like a couple years later, like 2008ish. But back then, it was kind of WWE or bust. So if
Word,
she got
which like,
fired, she wouldn't really gone anywhere but the Indies, which weren't really hot like that,
and
like they
just to
are
be
now.
clear, I'm not condoning this in any way when I say
No,
where was
not
she
at all.
gonna go. I'm just trying to put this in an alternate perspective. Like, we wouldn't have Lita would not have her legendary status if it weren't for WWE. We all have to admit that. So I'm just trying to think, if she had stuck her ground, where would she have gone? So
And you also got to think, though, like we alluded to, the landscape was a lot different in 2006 as it is in, well,
exactly.
2019. It's not really popping right now for obvious reasons. But like
Yeah.
2019, you got AEW starting up, which they could have used somebody's latest talent. They could still use somebody's latest talent.
Not to
Maybe
mention
not
there
in
was
the, maybe
also
not in the current state. But
not to mention there nowadays you have also like New Japan, Ring of
yeah,
Honor,
you
so
got
many other
Stardom. You
promotions
go
that
overseas.
weren't. I was gonna say, so many promotions that weren't really either existent or not as popular as they are now back in 06.
Yeah,
So
2006 it was kind of WWE or bust. You maybe had TNA, like we said, was on the rise, but that's kind of it. So while you want her to say, "Look, stand up for your pride. You don't have to do it. Take your stance and fire." That's a lot of money that probably isn't coming back ever
yeah.
if she doesn't do them. That's always a tough decision in that situation.
Oh man, but this is just another thing that adds to the Vinnie Mac Chronicles, man. Jesus Christ, huh?
May they cease, but they probably won't.
Oh man, I mean, at least, again, imagine if they had done this like in today's time.
Vince
Not a
doesn't make
chance
it
in
to the
hell.
Royal Rumble.
Hell no. So many outcries to boycott and fire Vince, and then just people. Not to mention, do they actually have like a board of directors, or is just Vince just take over all of it? Or
I
actually,
mean,
thinking about it, it would
yeah,
piss off and
I don't think
it would
they've
really
brought
piss
up the
off.
board of directors in a while. I don't think
To
they
say,
brought up the board of directors in
because there
years.
got to be some people that got to put Vince in like a checks and balances kind of thing. But
Yeah,
I
Bruce.
don't know. But then again, you also have like the investors; they wouldn't be too happy about that. And then what's it
Uh,
called?
is it with the ratings that show up? They probably would have turned a blind eye.
I don't know. But then it's the whole PR thing, and then it's this is what happens when you throw money into the mix, man. This becomes a whole nasty situation, and it sucks
More
for
money, more problems, like Biggie said.
exactly. Oh my god! But we're happy that Lita got that off her chest, but upset that you know
That it had to happen. It should
that
have
it had
gotten to that point. If literally everybody in related to that storyline declined it, it shouldn't be on TV.
word.
Especially if the writers even declined it.
Yeah,
But what the big boss says goes.
yeah. Otherwise, you got no chance in hell.
I see what you did there. I like that.
But anyway, moving on from this. So, rumors of contracts. So, who's on the list today? It is Matt Riddle and Ricochet, or at least Ricochet was on the list. As of today, he has confirmed that any rumors of him not re-signing have been false. So his fate is still up in the air right now. So
All I'm saying on Ricochet is he must really enjoy his coworker because I cannot see him enjoying his job.
That's the thing. I've noticed that like Ricochet is kind of like a team player no matter where he goes. Like you tell him to do something, he'll do it. So
Yeah, you don't really see
which is
him
like
going for personal gain all that often.
I was gonna say which is like both a good thing and a bad thing because one good like the good part, yeah, good work ethic, good what's it
You're
called?
versatile. They can put you wherever you need, whatever you need. He's like a utility guy. But the bad thing is, you be in the position where he is now, where he's kind of just floating in obscurity in no man's land.
Word, and this is like one of the best high flyers in the industry right now. So
Absolutely.
like this guy is way too talented to be where he is right now. So like
For the billing he had coming into NXT if you remember, where
oh my
he was
god,
supposed to
dude.
be like the next like NXT champion. I guess if he came in like now, he'd be North American Championship run to jobbing in like 3-minute matches.
I mean that's kind
That
of
shouldn't be
that's kind of how his run actually went because remember he was never NXT champion. He only had one North American title run, which led to a really good match between him and Adam Cole for it. So you got to give him props for that one. But
well,
that's the
remember
thing.
he was in NXT where he could actually do his thing.
Exactly. NXT, he had such an insane pop when he debuted. I remember losing my shit in that ladder match he partook in for the inaugural North American Championship.
He's like an airbender, bro.
Oh my
I
god.
don't know if anybody used to watch Avatar when they were kids, but Ricochet he's the Avatar, bro. He bends air like crazy. He does things that most people should not be able to do.
He bends air, manipulates gravity, just I don't know. Again, this guy is way too talented. And if you don't know what we're talking about, I swear to God, go watch some Ricochet tapes, especially his stint in New Japan. And if you really want Ricochet's best work, look up his matches with Will Ospreay. His best rival. Best rival ever. Oh man, but you know, whatever he decides to do, we wish the best for him. Don't re-sign.
Unfortunately, it sounds like he might have sold his soul, but I also get being a team player. I tend to be that way myself. But I hope that at some point somebody realizes what they should be doing with him on the main roster.
Word.
For his own sake.
I mean, at least they're not, trying to lock him down for 5 years because I don't know if you heard because they had started they re-signed the whole Retribution group to 3-year contracts. And I remember it wasn't that long ago. They're trying to lock people down for 5-year contracts.
Yeah, that was halfway through last year.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was about 6 months ago.
That's the term not too long ago. But no, it's good that they're like, what's it called? They're being more lenient with their contracts. I guess because they started realizing that they can't get everybody. But then again, not everybody wants to be there. So
no. Hell, there are people that want out of their contracts. But unfortunately, you signed a contract.
Yeah,
you can't really breach it.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. And while we're still on the subject of contracts, congratulations to the Rascals who are now repackaged as MSK in NXT. We hope you guys go far in the Dusty Classic, but we'll see. We'll check back on you when you hit the main roster, see how that goes. All right.
I don't expect it to be particularly great. I'm gonna keep this out.
Yeah. So
seeing how the tag team division is right now.
On the main roster, at least, yeah.
Yeah.
So another one, Matt Riddle. So apparently it was rumored that he did re-sign, but now there's counter rumors saying that he hasn't followed through with it. So do you think Riddle's starting to get the hint of it,
Well, think about it this way. They haven't really given him anything he really wanted because he wanted the match with Goldberg. That's not going to happen. At least it looks like it.
It's never going to happen. Bill Goldberg hates his fucking guts. If they actually got in the ring together, I think Goldberg would try to kill him.
And
which would ultimately fail because remember, Riddle's a former UFC fighter.
Oh, if it went to a shoot fight, 50-year-old Goldberg is fighting his last fight, bro.
Oh yeah, Like he wanted a match with Goldberg. He wants a match with Brock Lesnar. That's never gonna happen.
If Bobby Lashley ain't get a match with Lesnar yet, Riddle ain't on the list yet.
Fuck no.
And then
Fuck
they
no.
just changed his gimmick. What, a couple weeks ago?
Not to mention his name, which is the stupidest thing.
Yeah, now it's just Riddle.
Again, which is stupid as all hell. I don't know who the hell came up with that.
Hey, they've been chopping everybody's names off for years.
Word. Stop chopping people's names.
Just let them keep their identity. Just work off of what they brought from NXT. That's why they got called up.
I'm gonna say, well, at least if they try to sue him for his name, can't do it because one, it's legally his name, and two, if it's just Riddle, then he still has Matt Riddle. So
yeah,
but
they want to turn him to a supervillain.
Very true. So his original contract was for $400,000 a year, but apparently another offer that was made to him was actually for even more. So again, because we've noticed that he hasn't been winning the last couple of weeks. So, and that's usually how they send guys out or at least guys they don't like. They send them on a losing streak and then just say adios.
And then they find success elsewhere.
Pretty much.
Like
so I don't know. Where do you see this going? Riddle resigns, or does he get his shit together and get the hell out?
With all the shit that he has been going through, I would like to say that he would be smart enough to pack his shit and go.
Yeah. Because let's face it, he was so much better off on the indies. Come on.
Absolutely. Hell, he's
if he can
better off in NXT.
Oh, my God. Everybody was better in NXT.
You're absolutely right.
Face facts, man. Everybody who came out of NXT was better there. Unless,
true.
Or at least after, 2012, everybody that came out of NXT was better?
After they turned into an actual brand and not a game show.
Yeah.
Because remember, the game show did happen.
No, I remember. But
that's where Daniel Bryan came from.
I was going to say, at least with the game show, at least we got guys like Daniel Bryan and what's it called?
But they were also going to hold him down, too. He broke out.
They were. Yeah, he got lucky. But weren't for him and 1,000 fans in the ring chanting yes for half an hour?
If he didn't occupy Raw, he would still be a jobber.
Word. Oh, man. But enough about WWE and their what's it called? Loophole hell of contracts. Let's go on to something more interesting. So, for the last few weeks on AEW Dynamite and Impact Wrestling, we have seen Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers all together. The Good Brothers, Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows. Something about that just sounds so right,
Doc does come. It sounds a little more powerful than Luke.
Yeah.
Luke kind of just stays flat. Doc sounds like he got some punch to it.
Word. But, yeah, so for the last few weeks, ever since Kenny Omega won the AEW World Championship, we've been seeing him go back and forth between Dynamite and Impact, and then we've seen, the Good Brothers come on in, and now they've actually had their first 6-man tag match on Dynamite in preparation for Impact's pay-per-view Hard to Kill, where Omega and the Good Brothers are actually in the main event. So now that we're seeing this and the way the Young Bucks are kind of swaying back and forth between, heels and faces again, can we see a new surgence of Bullet Club here in the U.S.?
I believe so, and we see Kenny's turned the corner now. He's becoming a heel, and the Good Brothers were already kind of that. Now, like you said, the Young Bucks are kind of teetering on that fence. I think they're leaning slightly more towards heel, but they're really just tweeners right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, see it. What it looks like, AEW and Impact have a partnership going. The Bullet Club is a good one. They could realistically run 2 brands at one time.
Yeah, and I was kind of thinking about that because TNT is giving it AEW a second show. Could it be possible that they give that second show to Impact and they let Tony Khan run this? Could Tony Khan buy Impact? Absolutely. Will they let him have it? Who the hell
he has
knows?
billions of dollars. You could definitely buy Impact.
I was gonna say when you own a football team and a soccer club, not to mention the wrestling promotion on top, it's just the icing on the cake, man.
Yeah, this is chump change for him. So yeah, that's an interesting proposal. Impact probably needs some financial help as they've needed to forever, it seems like. And Tony Khan would definitely be able to provide it, or at least his family would.
I see this as more of as a win-win, honestly, because Impact gets more publicity. They're back on a major network. They get more talent, but on the same token, Tony Khan gets more people on his roster, and especially in the
He
women's
gets a
division.
much needed boost to that women's division.
Because Impact actually has a really good women's division.
Absolutely, definitely. They got Deanna Purrazzo, they got Jordan Grace holding it down, and they got a few others down there. Even without Tessa Blanchard, Taya Valkyrie too. Even without Tessa Blanchard, that women's division on Impact would more than help the women's division on AEW right now.
Not to mention if they keep partnering with like NWA, bringing their women in because we get Serena Deeb and Thunder Rosa more often. So that's good. This could actually really help their women's division. So again, it's a win-win for everybody. So I don't know.
Think so too.
Anybody in the Impact Executive Board and Tony Khan, if anybody's will ever listen to this, come on, snag Tony Khan's money, man.
Hey,
Tony Khan can put you back on the map.
Drop a little bucket for us too. We gave you the idea.
But no, another idea I had with this whole, with this whole surgence, with this AEW Impact partnership. Not to mention they work with New Japan, NWA, and if they get all these promotions together and include New Japan and Ring of Honor, could we see another belt collector in our future with Kenny Omega? Because you guys remember
I heard rumors that could be a thing, and he would be the guy to do it.
I was gonna say, because you remember when Austin Aries was the belt collector, he was holding titles all over Europe, and I think he held a few titles here in the States. Like he had at 1.6 world champions at one time.
Charlotte hasn't even been booked that strongly.
Word. So imagine that. If we get all 6 of these promotions together, could they let Kenny Omega take their world championships for each of them? Because imagine this. The AEW World Champion now, he challenges Rich Swann for the Impact World Championship, which would be a hell of a match, right?
Oh, for sure.
And he challenges Roosh in Ring of Honor. That would be another hell of a match. I don't know if you're familiar with Roosh's work.
I'm not, but you know yourself. I take your word for it.
All right, you'll let me take my word for it. Everybody in the wrestling community wants to see him go up against Nick Aldis for the NWA World Title. Meltzer might actually give that a 5-star rating.
6.
You think that would be a 6-star?
Maybe not. That's reserved for Ibushi.
Yeah, and Ibushi, who now is the IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental Champion, which we forgot to congratulate him on his victory against Jay White and Tetsuya Naito at Wrestle Kingdom. So congratulations to Kota Ibushi. Plus, think about that match. The Golden Lovers going up against each other. Come on.
Chips. Yeah.
Come on, man.
That probably, with multiple belts on the line, that probably would get Meltzer to give it an 8-star match. Because they're going at least 45 minutes.
Not to mention, Ibushi and Omega agree. They are. I'm going to say are because they have tagged before in the past. They are an amazing tag team, and they have such good chemistry. Imagine the match they will have if they get them in the ring together.
With 2 belts on the line.
Yes. Or 3 if you count the AEW World Championship.
I don't know if they put 3 belts on the line.
Come on. Let's make this more interesting.
That's what we might just put all the damn belts on the line between us.
Might as well, man.
That's a 10-star classic right there.
Exactly.
The belt collector bat. That actually. You might. Bro.
And I keep forgetting that Kenny's also the AAA Mega Champion, because I kept forgetting one promotion. So.
Hey man, you might have just started something like a massive super show if that ever happens between those 7 promotions, Brandon's gonna have to go about 5 nights. That's gonna have to be a week
I thought
long
I said
event.
6. I thought it was 6 because we got AEW, Ring of Honor, Impact, NWA, AAA, and New Japan. So yeah, that's 6 promotions. And if they get and if New Japan brings in their sister promotion, Stardom, that'll be another.
Kenny probably won't be going for the Stardom Championship.
Well, no, duh. But I'm just saying, because come on, how you gonna bring in a whole division of dudes without bringing in some women to help their
what they need.
with the women's division?
Hey, if they ever do the Super Show, and that's the final main event, that might very well get 10 stars.
I was gonna say Ring of Honor, New Japan, they already have a Super Show. You know, you just throw in AEW and Impact, have AAA latch on, and then
bring over Stardom,
and then and then I keep forgetting, and have NWA latch on too, like that. That might have to be like a whole weekend show.
That might have to be like a week.
Like a 3.
That's like WrestleMania week, but 5 nights of wrestling. With 6 or 7 promotions, that could very well go like 6 nights, 3 hours each night.
Oh my God, yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's either too much or that's like overload. You would have to.
No, you don't have to go every night.
Nah, of course, but
you go like half the.
There would be a few fans in the community that would go to that.
Somebody is trying to go to that entire festival.
Word.
I don't know if you're gonna be able to survive after the last night, but somebody's trying to go to all 6 of those shows.
Oh my God, I don't know, man. But it would be an interesting concept, seeing Kenny get all these belts and having all these promotions work together, and especially if they start this Bullet Club alliance between AEW and Impact. But we'll see where this goes,
It's looking like it's going to be a real interesting storyline, like you said, to see how it goes and what exactly they do with it.
Before we get off this topic, so we were noticing that you have the Omega and the Good Brothers, and you have John Moxley who's gonna keep going at them. Aren't you guys still due for blood and guts?
Yeah.
So imagine this. So you have Omega, the Good Brothers, and maybe the Young Bucks one side. Then you get Moxley, Rich Swann, Motor City Machine Guns, who are going to be on the other side because they're going against Omega and the Good Brothers at Hard to Kill. So
hey, man, we still got to open up before we get there.
But come on.
But that would be dope.
They add one more guy, maybe from Impact, maybe from AEW, who knows? And then you get him in two rings in a steel cage. Come on.
Yo, that would be awesome to be at. I just hope we.
Just thinking about it, I'm like, damn, I should have gotten my ticket when you guys did.
Should bought them tickets, brother.
I was broke at the time, man. Yo.
I mean, we kind of broke now, so it worked out, I guess.
Oh man, I don't know. We'll see where this goes. Hopefully, maybe some of our ideas floated, or in Tony Khan's mind, or in somebody in Impact's mind.
Kind of check.
But we'll see where this goes. Finally, guys, on January 27th, AEW will be hosting their first awards show on BR Live. I am not sure why it's not going to be on Dynamite, but honestly,
you would think that it would be like they'd have a cut time or do it throughout the show on Dynamite. I don't know how many people are going specifically to BR Live to watch an award show. People like award shows. So.
I was gonna say I got BR Live. I might check it out, but
they're not gonna get as many people as they would on Dynamite to watch that award show.
Probably not, but they probably will get a decent amount of people to watch.
But you know what? That might turn out for the better because no one likes when WWE does the Slammies.
I mean, very true, but they might get maybe half their audience that watches Dynamite to watch this award show. Who knows?
You think 300,000 people are turning to the award show on BR Live?
Maybe, if they love the product that much. Plus, they had some interesting categories up, which we are actually going to vote on. So,
let's do it.
In representing the Good Shit podcast, we are going to vote on each of these categories, starting with The best moment on the mic, and nominees are MJF campaign speech, "We Deserve Better," Cody Rhodes accepting Brody Lee's dog collar match challenge, Jon Moxley accepting his Inner Circle invitation from Chris Jericho, Brandy Rhodes going off on Jade Cargill, and Orange Cassidy debating Chris Jericho. See,
I
this
have
is
two. I have two that are specifically at the top.
when because I personally have already voted on these, but when I was doing this, I had 3 in mind, and it took a lot of thought to think about this. So
I'm going to guess.
Let's go. Let's just do a process of elimination. But what were you gonna say?
I'm going to guess your 3 were MJF,
Yes.
the debate,
Yes.
and it's either Mox or Cody. I'm pretty sure Brandy did not make the top 3.
No. Which we can actually eliminate. So Brandy's out. While we did see a different side of Brandy, it wasn't that good of a segment. It's just
it was not the level of the other competitors in this card.
Not a chance. Brandy still needs some work on her mic skills. So.
Oh. For me, it's between MJF and the debate.
Yeah,
MJF is literal gold anytime this man has a mic.
Yeah, because Moxley was just a joke. Because it's just literally him saying, "I was just kidding. I'm not going to join the Inner Circle," and then smashing. Yeah,
we knew he wasn't going to join the Inner Circle.
So that's out. Cody accepting the dog collar match challenge. That was actually pretty interesting because you see him, you walk in, talking about the challenge, and he just says no, walks out, walks back into the ring, and says no, as in no regrets, no, as in no turning back. But you see the emotion in Cody's face, his veins popping in his head, like he wants this. You knew he wanted this fight from the get go. So
that's what you get from Cody all the time. Cody is amazing bringing out emotion. Like he has that. Maybe better than anybody in the industry.
But it was also just accepting a challenge. It wasn't really.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, it wasn't
not like super impactful, like progressive storyline.
Yes.
It was just adding another match, really.
It was just adding a little segment to what was going to be a great rivalry and one hell of a match.
Yeah. Which it did.
It was a great match, brutal too. And the last one from Mr. Brody Lee. May he rest in peace. So we can eliminate Cody. So it's just down to MJF and Orange Cassidy, probably two of the best talkers on the mic, even though one barely talks.
One doesn't talk, but the way he was able to respond to Chris Jericho so quickly with Bischoff also in the background was.
Because you just
I think I have to give the edge to MJF because he's just so damn good.
Really, MJF?
He's just so damn good on the mic. But you see how much I'm struggling with this one.
No, I get that because here's the thing. Let's take the context into play. Because MJF, he's standing on a podium giving basically a presidential speech about why he deserves to be AEW World Champion and how he got that match with Jon Moxley. And, he's saying, we deserve better, obviously, because he says he's going to be the future of this company for the next 25 years, which he is and will be.
He will be the future.
He is the future, and he will run this company for the next 25 years. So that obviously is something you got to take
into account.
Take into account. Yes, I'm losing my words here, man. I don't know why, but. You also got to take a look at the fact that, Orange Cassidy, a guy who never really talks, guy who barely even shows any emotion, just stands there with a clip-on tie, just saying, just letting Chris Jericho know that it would be such an embarrassment if he loses to a guy who puts his hands in his pockets in the ring. Like, come on. The way he did that debate, that was fucking gold, man.
Hey, man, it's like a 51-49.
Man,
but I give the edge to MJF.
I mean, I gave it, if I'm being honest with you, I gave it to Orange Cassidy. So this is
It's not
up
like
in
this is
the
like
air.
it's not like this is a major disagreement. Like
No,
both of them were in our top two.
absolutely. This is why this is such a difficult one. But you know what? I already voted for Orange Cassidy, so I'm going to go with you on this one, and we're going to give this to MJF. So
Orange
MJF.
Cassidy's like he's like 1A for this 4 hours.
So next one, category biggest surprise, and the nominees are Matt Hardy's debut, Jake the Snake confronting Cody, Brody Lee debuting as the Exalted One, Sting's debut, and Miro revealed as the best man. So again, this is probably going to be another process of elimination.
Mira, I'm sorry, you are out, dog.
Yeah, because the way they're
They
going
have
with
done
that
nothing.
story, that story was just. I mean, I'll give him this. I was pretty surprised when he came in. It was just probably not
It has
the
gone
best way.
nowhere.
It was probably not the best way to debut him. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely. He should debut like beating shit out of somebody.
Yeah.
Just debut as a monster, like he came through. As we reference all the time, like he did when he came to NXT.
Yeah. But I don't know. Sting, we have to keep at the top. We have to.
Sting probably is my winner, to be honest, because you just got chills. You saw the snow come down. You saw the Titantron, like, who the fuck
You're
is
like, what
this?
the hell is this? And it's
then
not until his name pops up, you're just like,
oh shit. And then
like,
you also have to add it.
Like literally. Yeah, Tony Schiavone really put the cherry on top with Sting's debut. I don't know.
Tony might have sold it more than Sting's entrance actually sold it.
Yeah,
and that's saying a lot.
I don't know. I'm gonna retell how I reacted when Sting came up. You know, I see the lights go out, you see the Titantron go on, you see the snow falling. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then this name pops up, and I'm like, oh shit! Yeah. I jumped out. I jumped off my seat, and I'm at my sister's house.
So somebody had to come check on you. I know that.
Oh, my poor niece and nephew, man. They were in bed when Sting came out, and like they see me, they're like, what's wrong? I'm like, oh my god. I dropped to my knees, and like my niece, she's so cute. She sees Sting on the TV, and she's like, oh, you were that for Halloween. And I'm like, yes, I was Sting for Halloween.
Yes, I have returned. Winter has come.
But yes, this is why Sting is like at the top for me. And being honest, I actually voted for Sting. But you got to look at the other ones because I hate to do this, but like I have to eliminate Matt Hardy because like when he debuted, obviously, and this was at the beginning of the pandemic when we had no fans, so he should have gotten a bigger pop.
Oh, if there were people there, he definitely would have. This whole situation just messed up so many moments that should have happened. Not to mention the moment we should have had at Blood and Guts, but that's not. We're not gonna go there.
I was gonna say it messed up. Actually, it actually messed up two nominees here. It messed up Matt Hardy and Brody Lee's.
Oh, Brody Lee, that definitely would have popped off if people were there.
Oh yeah, and it's like he had a great debut, and I'll give him this. They made it work though for him because if there were people there, they would have had to kill the lights, wait for him to get in the ring before they turn them back on and start attacking SCU. But the way they did it, where they just cut from his package to him in the ring, was actually worked out really well for them. So I don't know, but I think it's safe to say like Matt Hardy would be out, right? Because of the circumstances. No disrespect, Matt.
It's not his fault.
No, it really isn't.
It's bad timing.
Really bad timing, man.
It's not even timing that we could have expected. Because everything literally shut down like that.
It did. But luckily, the only one that happened pre-pandemic was Jake confronting Cody. And, none of us were really expecting Jake to come out.
No.
And there weren't even like rumors or from the dirt sheets or anybody. He just popped up and like he cut probably one of the best promos about, his upcoming client at the time, who we later found out was Lance Archer. And since then, Jake has been doing such a good job with Lance. So.
Yeah, I don't think Lance would be as nearly as big of a star in AEW without Jake on his side.
Very true. But I don't know, a
I don't think there's a whole
confrontation
lot of
versus
debate in this one, so I think it's Sting. I don't think
Sting.
there's a whole lot of debate in this one.
Sting. We giving this one to Sting?
We're giving it to the old man with the bat in the face paint.
It's Sting.
Also known as Darby Allin's dad now.
Oh yeah. And before we go on to the next one, finally we see Sting do something with the bat after last night. Because you see Ricky Starks get involved in Cage and Darby's match. You see the lights go out. They quickly come back on, and just Sting beats the shit out of him with the bat. I was like, yes!
Sting was out here looking like Josh Hamilton at 2008 home run derby at Yankee Stadium, bro.
Yep. I'm going to pretend I know what you're talking about, but I'm going to say yes!
He hit 32 home runs in a round.
Yeah. Oh, boy. But anyway, next category is Biggest Beatdown, and the nominees are the Inner Circle jumping Orange Cassidy, the Dark Order attacking the Nightmare Family, Nyla Rose putting Rio and Sheeta through tables, Brian Cage sneak attack on Moxley, and the Nightmare Family and the Inner Circle brawl, the whole Dippin' Dots situation.
Oh, okay.
So again, I feel like this is another process of elimination one, right?
Yeah.
So which one goes first?
Honestly, I don't remember the Nyla Rose one all that much.
This was after a fatal four-way between Nyla, Riho, Sheeta, and Britt Baker, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Britt Baker won, and then Nyla was just
This was the
pissed.
beginning of the year.
Yes, I think this was at the homecoming show back in January of last year.
Oh, homecoming. Okay, Jacksonville.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, I mean, as devastating as it is to see people go through tables, I mean, it wasn't that big of a beatdown. Like if we're involving tables as a beatdown, I see it more as like something you finish off with after you really beat the shit out of something.
Closing thing. Like putting somebody through a table to me doesn't feel like a beatdown.
If you're gonna put somebody through a table to finish off a beatdown, you would have had to like start.
You would have to first beat them up first.
Yeah, and it's with that one. Nyla she threw some punches, took out the tables, and then just put Riho and Sheeta through them. And it wasn't even the person who won, if I'm not mistaken, because I'm still assuming Britt Baker won that one.
That would make sense if she beat up the other two. So I think that one can go.
Yeah. So what about Cage's attack on Moxley? Because you got to admit that while that was sneaky and he did put him through a windshield, like I think it's because how relentless Moxley is. And
Moxley doesn't stay down, but somebody besides the Cage, he probably could have did more, even to somebody like Moxley.
We'll put Cage and Mox on the side for now, but we'll keep them. Let's see. I voted for the Nightmare Family, the Dark Order attacking the Nightmare Family, because remember that was the segment where Brody Lee had the sack with the original unfinished TNT Championship, and he bashed it over Cody's head. That one, and literally left the broken pieces of that title at Cody's body, and you had Anna Jay put Brandy to sleep. Like, yo, that was fucking brutal.
All right, that can be inserted into
the top contenders.
that can be inserted in the top.
I don't know. I feel like we should eliminate Inner Circle in the Nightmare Family, because who amongst us hasn't seen
the other one I was thinking was Blood Orange. That was the other one I was thinking.
That you want to eliminate? Okay.
No, that I would put into the contender.
Okay, so yeah, that's true, because they beat the shit out of Orange Cassidy. They made him bleed with a bag full of blood oranges.
They made him a bloody orange with oranges.
Yeah. You can't get any better than that. So I don't know which one takes it, Dark Order or the Inner Circle.
I think it's got to go Dark Order, because like that final scene of Brody leaving literally destruction of both Cody Rhodes and the belt in his wake was
Yeah,
such
this
a
was
powerful ending scene to a show. So I
not to
think
mention
that has to be it.
a powerful way to kick off his
Yeah, and
reign.
it sent a real message.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and that was literally right after Brody won the TNT Championship off Cody in what, like a minute?
Yeah.
So, Dark
So
Order.
we're gonna go Dark Order with this one, and Blood Oranges too.
Dark Order. Oh, this one's a no-brainer, but I want to talk about this one. Category High Flyers, Best High Flyer nominees: Ray Phoenix, Mark Quinn, Nick Jackson, and Pac.
So yeah, I'm surprised Darby's not in there because Darby literally tries to kill himself jumping off things. But,
Very true.
But,
Very true. I'm actually glad you brought that up because I mean I guess because Darby doesn't do flips and stuff. He goes high.
Move.
But it's not a flip though. I think they mean like high flyers is right. Guys who like
Ray Phoenix,
over the top rope.
It's Ray Phoenix.
Yeah, Ray Phoenix, but you got to give him.
Like I like Mark Quinn a lot, New York stand up, but Ray Phoenix literally does things that no human can do.
Literally, tight.
He runs,
I wouldn't even say
he runs.
He tight runs the top rope.
Tight runs the top rope.
You can't even say tight ropes because he literally runs that shit. Not
this
to mention the way like he sprints it and the way he did that. I think it was All Out when he kicked Nick Jackson in the head doing that.
Yeah.
Like, yo, how the hell does anybody else do that?
And then most of the air moves he does doesn't look like he ever botches them.
I wouldn't say. I wouldn't say he never
level of
botches
difficulty that he does. He has a pretty impressive rate.
I do remember double or nothing in that ladder match where he I think jumped over the top rope and I wouldn't say he botched it, but he missed by a little bit and he fucked up his back. So
okay,
but
you got that. But still,
definitely you got to give Ray Phoenix his props because he has the balls to do that. And again, Mark Quinn, he's an incredible high flyer. Does probably one of the best shooting star presses we've ever seen. Oh yeah, and then Pac is just incredibly fast and
I know his finisher. At least it used to be a high flyer, but I don't see Pac as really a high flyer anymore. Now he kind of maybe it's his heel role now, but now he stays a little more grounded.
I think it's because
he used to be.
I think it's because when you think about it, the last time he really did some high flying shit was that Iron Man match against Omega, and Omega can be a high flyer when he wants to be. That's the thing.
Yeah, but even Kenny, I don't consider to really be a high flyer either.
I mean, he can fly.
It's not that he can't. I mean, it's not that he can't, but he's not like these type of high flyers. He's not a racer. Granted, nobody.
No, absolutely. But
he's not jumping up like Rey Mysterio used to. He's a high flyer because that's like 90% of his offense.
No, of course. Like that's what I'm saying. Kenny doesn't fly, but I feel like he can if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Right. Pac, I feel like they're pairing him up with more grounded guys because think about it. He comes back after 8 months. Who's his first target? Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston doesn't really fly.
He's not getting off the ground.
And then they might be doing an angle with him and Lance Archer. Archer don't fly.
He's not getting off the ground.
I mean, he can
he's
do
he's a hawk, but he don't have the wings.
I was gonna say, yeah, he can do the what's it called? The old school and do a springboard off it, but you're
not really doing you're not in the air at all for an old school. You're literally just jumping down. And he don't have very far.
Yeah. But I don't know. Pac to me is more of a striker more than a high flyer now.
Yeah.
And then I think if we had to pick a runner up, it has to be Nick Jackson.
Oh yeah, because that's half their offense is springboards.
Yeah.
So I would say Phoenix 1, Jackson 2.
Yeah.
Darby Allin 3.
I mean, Darby's more like jumping off shit rather than flipping off shit or flying it.
Fair, but that is stuff that I am not willing to do.
Very true, because I still will never forget the ollie off the ladder at Double or Nothing. Like, or if I really want to cringe and be
Coffin
like,
Dawson into a barrel
no, his coffin drop onto the apron
or the apron. Yeah.
at the first Fighter Fest.
Yeah.
That was fucking nasty.
Thinking about this, it hurts my spine, bro.
Yeah, right. But moving on from high flyers, so next category is hardest moment to clean up after. I don't know why this is one, but it's kind of funny. And, nominees are Orange Cassidy dropping orange juice on the inner circle, the parking lot brawl, the bunkhouse match, and Big Swole dumping garbage on Britt Baker.
I mean, you can clean off the garbage, you just don't smell for a while.
I mean, well, when you look at the clip, it's not like it's like papers and shit. That's like easy to clean up. Plus, this was at
you
the
just
time
don't
when
smell
Britt was
for a
in
while.
the. As I say, and this was at the time when Britt was still in the wheelchair and she was in a plexiglass barricade, and she just dumps it over her. So
that was not
That's not a difficult thing to clean up after. The bunkhouse match, I'd say it's like.
Remind me what the bunkhouse match was.
It was the Natural Nightmares, Dustin and QT against the Butcher and the Blade, and basically kind of a Western kind of match. They had like, what's it called, like barrels and hay and all that crap in there.
Okay.
Like it was a Dusty match. That was the thing. It literally was because Dusty created that match. So.
Okay. I guess the hay could be a problem to pick up, but I also don't feel like that's nearly as hard as cleaning up some orange juice all over the damn place.
I was gonna say I gave it to Orange Cassidy because after that it was the parking lot brawl. That one you would have to pick up, bent barricades, broken wood, replace shattered windshields.
Yeah, but you ain't got to. You could just sweep that shit up.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to get out.
We're literally judging this by how we would clean this up. So.
I mean, that's the question.
Yeah.
Orange juice is hard to clean, bro. Especially if you got it all over the place.
Not to mention, it still damaged Chris Jericho's
white
jacket for the white jacket.
You still want that? What is it, $7K?
$7K for the jacket.
So yeah, I think we know which one won that one.
Orange Cassidy?
Yes, sir.
Orange Cassidy. Okay, and this might be an easy one, but it might be a nice conversation starter. So this is the biggest WTF moment, but we're uncensored here. So biggest what the fuck moment. Categories.
WWE with OMG moments?
Word. Pretty much, but these are some pretty good ones. So we have Cody's moonsault off the steel cage, Sammy getting hit by a golf cart, the Young Bucks frog splash off the stadium railings, MJF lashes Cody, bloody Britt Baker against Sheeta, and Omega winning the world championship and walking out. They put walking out when he really ran out of that place.
Yeah, and that wasn't a walk. That man damn near sprinted.
Right.
I think I might be a little partial with this one.
Because, should we process of eliminate this?
I really only got two.
All right, what are your two?
I got the Stadium Stampede because that was probably one of my favorite matches.
I mean, it was just the Young Bucks jumping off the railings. Like, they do that all the time.
Oh, off the rail. I'm thinking of off the goalpost.
No. That should be there, actually.
You know, it's not the rails. We're putting goalposts. And then Kenny literally running out because no one expected Don Callis to get up out of his chair and literally take Kenny with him.
Really? I gave it to MJF lashing Cody. I mean, we all knew it was happening. Cause I think
that's why it doesn't strike me as much because we knew. We knew
it was going to happen.
But we kind of saw it coming.
I mean, we saw it coming, but the fact that they gave it the last 15 minutes of Dynamite just for that, and you see, Cody's face is when you see him take the lashes. MJF's his anger in it, and I don't know. When you look at the clip on YouTube, the first words on the title are "viewer discretion advised." So that's just like that's how brutal this whole segment was. I don't know.
You might have just swayed me with that because
Yeah.
because that was probably right below them. That was probably my three.
See, this is why we needed
when
the
you
other
open-
guys, but for this, because
we need no one for this. We need the flamethrower.
we need the flamethrower. We need George
We need
Michael.
George
We
Michael,
need Zeus.
we need the squad.
Fellas, if you ever see this, help us settle this, man.
Oh man. I think I'm still going to go with Kenny literally walking out because one, I wasn't even sure he was going to win the match that night. Although I could see it coming, but I wasn't 100% sure he was going to win. I didn't see him running out to Impact.
I mean, I get your point on that. I mean, I honestly thought they were going to give Omega the title at Revolution, but the fact that they gave it to him, yeah, which was probably the best time to do it, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, the way he just kind of sprinted out there with Don Callis, which kind of set up this whole Impact AEW partnership now. So, I don't know. I personally give it to MJF, but this is on behalf of the group. So I'm gonna go with your gut on this one, then. So Omega walking out.
Yeah.
Omega
Again, it's not like we are worlds apart in disagreement.
Nah. All right. I think this is the last one. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Next one is LOL Award.
God, this is a slammy.
but the nominees are pretty funny, actually. It's Jericho and MJF Le Dinner Debonair, which actually that New York Times Best Performance of 2020 winner.
Granted, they didn't have a whole lot of competition.
No, they had some pretty good competition, dude.
I'm surprised because I guess because I'm thinking like Broadway performances. There wasn't no damn Broadway show. That's probably what I was thinking. I think that's why.
Nah, that went up against like shows. That went up against like Ozark and a couple other shows on Netflix.
Okay, that makes sense. Then they went up against the actual TV show.
Yeah, nah. I was honestly shocked when they won that. But anyway, so it's Le Dinner Debonair, Britt Baker waxing Tony Schiavone, the Young Bucks super kicking MJF into a pool on the cruise ship, and the Inner Circle Las Vegas trip.
I don't think I saw the Las Vegas trip.
That was actually pretty funny. It was basically just them in Vegas doing what you would normally do in Vegas. You gamble, you drink. Yeah, what's it called? You party with Conan.
But it had Chris Jericho's influence.
Yeah, you have Jericho and MJF trying to outdo each other with liquor and end up drinking water, pretending it's grain alcohol. And I've had grain alcohol. That shit burns.
All right. A super kick into a pool. I guess kind of funny, but it don't really got that impact because it's probably something they would normally do anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you look at the clip, it's not really them super kicking him into the pool. It's them super kicking him and then just throwing him in.
Wow. I mean, that could happen at a backyard poolside party.
Or
get enough alcohol in somebody, that'll probably happen anyway.
Ferrara at Belmar.
He said it, not me.
Oh, he'll see this, message me, and be like, "Fuck you."
No, he would say LMFAO. Oh.
Fuck you, LMFAO.
Zeus would approve though. Britt Baker waxing Tony. You know, Britt Baker's starting to come to her own now with his
I was gonna say
gimmick in the waiting room. She's coming to her own now.
I was gonna say she's actually becoming like better, at least on the mic and her charisma.
Her charisma is starting to show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot what the first one was.
Le Dinner Debonair, Jericho and MJF.
Hmm.
The 2020 Performance of the Year by the New York Times.
What do they know? They're just a newspaper. I say as a New Yorker.
I was gonna say, way to diss the New York Times, bro.
They're gonna come back and watch this, and then that's gonna hurt me like 15 years down the line. Okay, I think I'm in between the two Inner Circle moments
Okay.
with the Daredevil and the Vegas trip. I have also been to Vegas. I have not done any of that stuff because I'm not that type of person. But knowing the cast that's in it, I know how funny it was.
Yeah.
But also, Chris Jericho and MJF are just that damn good on the mic.
Yo, word. I was not expecting them to break out into a song. Like I'm sitting there laughing my ass off, going, "What the fuck?" Like literally repeating "What the fuck" every like 10 seconds.
Maybe that should have been up for what the fuck moment of the year.
Word.
I think I'm gonna go with a duet.
The Le Dinner Debonair.
I'm gonna go with the award-winning duet of MJF and Jericho.
I'm gonna agree with you on that. Le Dinner Debonair. Okay. All right. Next one. Best Twitter follow. This one should be a no-brainer.
MJF next.
Well, I was gonna say MJF, Orange Cassidy, Britt Baker, or Nyla Rose. So
Chris Jericho is not on that list. He would be the second one. It's
MJ. See, I was watching JD today, and they were like, "Well, I think they gave it to Orange Cassidy, though. I don't know." But I gave it to
MJF is the only one I personally follow. Well, that's not true. I follow Britt Baker too. I didn't know Nyla Rose had a great Twitter, and I can imagine Orange Cassidy does, but I'm also not really following like that. MJF makes me laugh every time he puts a post up.
Very true. So MJF.
Yeah.
Ooh. Now, breakout male star. And nominees are Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin, Eddie Kingston, and John Silver.
Silver kind of broke out towards the end, really, so that kind of takes him out for me. Kingston was already kind of established, so I don't know if I could really call him a breakout star.
Speaking of Kingston, another thing that, JD and his boy Jesse were saying that they were surprised that for best mic moment that Moxley and Kingston's promo in the ring did not make it. So they mentioned it, and I was like, "Oh crap, they're right." I was like, because I remember watching that, and I was just like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, that was
literally like two guys just like going at each other, like it was more of a shoot than a work, you know.
Mhm. But yeah, I don't know if I'd really call Eddie Kingston a break. I guess he kind of broke out on AEW, but people knew who he was already.
I mean, I remember glimpses of him back when Impact, when he had the original LAX, Homicide and Hernandez going against Conan and Santana and Ortiz back in Impact. So I vaguely remember him. It wasn't until he came into AEW that I saw what he was capable of, and I was like, "Holy shit, this guy's dangerous."
All right, I guess but I also don't. Because like some people act like a group of people already knew who he was coming in, so I don't know if I'd really consider him a breakout star. So the two here really for me are Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin.
Yeah, I gave it to Darby personally because Darby came in and he made a mark for himself. Because who else do you know on the roster that went the time limit with Cody? With Cody, that's of all people.
Like, nobody knew who he was, and he damn near beat Cody, but pushed him to 20 minutes. And then look at him now.
Freaking the face of TNT now.
Possibly the most over person on the show now.
Yeah, I was going to say now with Sting on his side, he definitely
now he's actually the most over.
He will be the most over guy right now, going into 2021 now.
I think it's another 1 or 1A situation where I think I'm put Darby 1 and Cassidy 1A because Cassidy his star.
Like we could definitely say that
We
could definitely say that Orange Cassidy ruled the summer.
Yeah,
like
he
this was
shot
like
up after Jericho.
This past summer was the summer of Orange Cassidy.
Yeah,
His rivalry with Chris Jericho literally catapulted him to the top. But
I think long-term breakout, I think it would have to be Darby.
Yeah, Darby's my guy, so I gave it to Darby. So
we agree.
All right, breakout female star. We have Anna Jay, Tay Conti, Big Swole, Penelope Ford, and Hikaru Shida. Is this really up for discussion?
One of them's a champion.
So you kind of have to. You kind of have to give her.
I personally like Penelope Ford, but she's not.
I mean, Penelope Ford is still big. Like, if I had to pick a runner-up, I would have given it to Big Swole. Big Swole has impressed me pretty well. Like, she's still green. She's still green, but
really had one. She really only had a short time to really shine.
Yeah, but in that, really she did make it.
But she made her own.
Yeah.
She almost had to carry that rivalry because Britt Baker was out.
Yeah. No, she literally did. She did carry that rivalry.
Yeah.
She didn't almost. She did carry that rivalry.
Fair. And Anna Jay, I think she just started a little late.
Yeah.
Breakout. I think if her start in the Dark Order happened maybe 2 or 3 months earlier, she could possibly be in the running.
Yeah.
And Tay Conti just got here. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tay Conti just got here, but if we think about it, you're absolutely right. 2 or 3 months before, if they had recruited Anna Jay 2 or 3 months before they actually did, she probably would. But let's think about it now. This actually could be Anna Jay's year.
Oh, so for sure.
She could actually be breakout for this.
She's progressing at a very quick rate.
So, yeah, maybe not for this year, but definitely next year she could be breakout star.
If she's in the running for next year, there is a high chance she will win.
Yeah.
So, I think we agree it's a car Shida for that one.
Shida. Only because she got the title, though.
Well, she's also defended the title. No one beat her, really.
Yeah, very true.
And she does put on good matches.
Yeah. All right. I have a feeling I know which one you're going to go with this next category.
Oh boy,
so we have Bleacher Report pay-per-view moment of the year. Nominees are.
Is the Stadium Stampede one of them?
The Stadium Stampede.
It won. Next.
Moxley winning the World Championship.
Okay.
Shida winning the Women's World Championship. Omega and Hangman defeating the Young Bucks. Darby beating Cody for the TNT title, and the Young Bucks winning the tag titles.
Well, like you guess, you do know my answer, but no, that's a pretty good list actually. It's not going to change my answer. But.
No, I figured that, but I don't know if we had to choose maybe a top two. I don't know. I'd eliminate what's it called. Maybe Shida winning no. I don't know.
No, that match was kind of live.
No, I was going to say
that's why. It started slow, but it turned up at the end.
No, it did. It did. That's why I'm second guessing myself. See, this is a tough one to do a process of elimination because they're all really good contenders.
I know which one I like the most.
I know you do.
That's why.
Because I guess because the Stadium Stampede is something that's never been done before. Probably will never happen again.
Probably. It was wacky as hell. It had 10 combustible elements in the same match. And it mixed two things I really like, football and wrestling.
And just taking it from a TV film standpoint, that must have taken hours to film. I remember vaguely, I remember saying when we reviewed Double or Nothing, I remember saying 16 cameras they used for this whole thing, and Ferraro's reaction was just priceless. It's 16? Yep.
I mean,
16 cameras for this.
Well, the entire football team actually sounds kind of low, to be honest.
I'm still
For the
wondering
size
if
that
Tony
they
Khan
took.
made a call to his Jaguars production team and just said, "Hey, can you guys do me
Probably
a solid?"
they got the mascot. They got the mascot cheerleaders there. They probably did.
Wouldn't surprise me, but I don't know.
Actually, he probably didn't ask them. He probably told them. Like,
I was
"Yo,
gonna
you
say
gotta
he
do
does
something."
pay. He does pay them, so he probably just cut him a big check and shit.
Here, show up and I'll give you a bonus, brother.
Word. But you also got to take into account Moxley's world championship win. Probably the last thing. Probably the last thing we saw. Probably the last big moment we saw with actual fans in attendance.
Mm-hmm.
And that got a major pop. Not saying like Omega and Hangman because they were one of the first matches,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. This is a tough one because Omega and Hangman put on a hell of a match against the Young Bucks, which I think should be match of the year. I don't know. And then, again, Stadium Stampede just such creative genius. I don't know.
I literally enjoyed myself literally the entire match, the entire time that match lasted.
Oh man, you know what? I'm gonna agree with you mainly because of that finisher with Omega giving Sammy Guevara that insane one-wing angel from like 16 feet.
Yeah, that was a long ass drop. Yeah, it was a long ass drop.
Yeah. Oh man. So Stadium Stampede, and that is it for the AEW Awards. Oh man. That was a rough one, man. That was
a bit. That was a bit weird.
That was a bit, man. But oh man, we want to thank you guys so much for joining us in the first episode of 2021. We thank you guys for joining us. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. You know the spiel. We are your good shit tag team. I'm Oscar Cifuentes.
DJ DSP Sutherland.
This has been the Good Shit Podcast, episode 21. We will see you guys next time.